Hi, my name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast. Today, I want to talk about something briefly, and it's about change. So many of us really don't like change, and of course, we know it's necessary in order for progression and for our lives and even society to take place. But what is the prerequisite for changing our life or something in our lives? What do we need to know before that begins? So in my own opinion, I think we have to have awareness. So that would probably be your prerequisite in order to change. We have to be fully aware of ourselves in an intimate manner. We have to take time to fully assess our flaws, our weaknesses, and our strengths, our value, our character, and even our ambitions and aspirations, and even goals if we have any. And of course, our desires. I'm also equally sure that we must want a level of some type of happiness sprinkled in there, right? I think we must be willing to walk in the internal path of our being, of who we truly are. And, I think that would be a way for us to understand exactly what we need to do in order for us to make the change that we want to make. That means if that change is a significant change in our life. And those of us who, of course, live life as grand and don't realize there is anything to change or don't need anything to change or challenge the status quo should still take time to assess their own lives. And I think that would be a way not to be complacent, so to say. I think that would not be a way to be complacent in that area. And although we might not be living up to our true potential or simply going through life's motions because we don't want to rock the mental boat, so to speak, right? Or even settle in life in one way or another. And so many people have. I even settled at one point in my life, and that desire to change was always gnawing at me. You could feel like there's something missing. There's always something missing. But I was able to tackle that. I'm making change. I've made changes, and I continue to make those changes. But for so many of us, what we want in life so severely eludes us, right? And I think we still need to take time to reflect, and you could have a reflection of just simple gratitude and appreciation, or even celebration for what we've gone through, what we've done in our life, and what we've overcome or what we've endured, and even the things that we've accomplished that was good or great. What does value life look like to you? When you ask someone, I think, what does that mean to them? You'll get a variety and a host of many different answers and it's natural. We are all different, and that's okay. And I love listening to the answers of people of what they want to do in their life or what they've achieved in their life. I say believe, because up to the point that we want to make those changes in our lives, we come with a baggage of a pre-notion of what life looks like for ourselves or our family, and what we have been exposed to in our lifetime, or what might be possible to continue on with life. Or on the surface, one may believe what is possible for themselves, or have a limited beliefs of what is only possible for themselves. So change. What kind of change do you want? What kind of change do you look for? When we decide that we want to change something in our lives or make a complete transformation, when we really decide or truly decide, we make a commitment to ourselves, don't we? However strong that conviction is, or for the change in that moment of declaration to ourselves might be, we're human. And sometimes the links to that conviction loosens and eventually breaks. When this happens, some of us are alerted to an event, something has happened, and can make a course correction. Or for so many of us, it can be subtle, throwing us off course without us ever even knowing that something has happened until it's too late. Now, a lot of people late in life feel that way. Sometimes, in people in their 30s or 40s, they can make those course directions fairly quickly, depending on their circumstances. In life, I think we all have circumstances, but those circumstances are external. I believe that. So, we all are entitled to believe what we want. You wake up one day and you realize your life has made a radical turn from where you started and where you intended to end up. If you wake up one day and realize that so much of your life has actually passed by for whatever reason, I want to talk to you today. If you decide that you want to make a change and you can no longer live in the status quo, making your change and recommitting yourself is a great deal of work, and it won't be easy by no stretch of the manner. However, making a declaration and recommitting yourself to live a more meaningful and a life full of purpose is a noble quest worth taking. Liberating yourself from your old ways takes more than willpower and determination. Freeing yourself from the bondage of limiting beliefs or even mediocrity, or even cementing thinking. And what that really means is what you're really grounded in your life so far because of your own beliefs. So in order to make true change, I challenge you to ask yourself one of the most popular questions on a change pathway. That question is why? Why do you want to make that change in your life? And I think that is a good question to start with. And believe me when I tell you that question why goes deeper than you can ever imagine unless you do the work of wanting to really know the core reason and purpose of your change. Here's what I want you to do right now. Get a piece of paper out and start writing all the reasons out. If you're driving, of course, don't do that. Just wait until you get home. I just want you to start writing the reasons why this change needs to take place. Or if you're on your computer, just open up a Word document and start typing out all your reasons. We're pretty much going to be dealing with the why for a little while and break down those reasons to the core actual truth. And why do I say core actual truth? There is a so-called surface reason. That reason when people ask you real quickly why, and then you just blurt out that answer. We'll probably call that a surface reason. And if you hear some rumbling, it's about to thunder. I'm hearing thunder and lightning and stuff like that outside the window. But back to what I was talking about. The surface reasons is the reasons that we give real quickly. But the core reason, the purpose, you have to uncover through unveiling some different answers and layers of your own life. So that's what we want to do. And to bring this, to actually make this a whole lot clearer, let me just give you an example. Let's say that you, the type of person who want to lose weight, and you ask yourself, somebody say, well, why do you want to lose weight? And you probably say, because I don't like the way my body looks, right? Now, that is a surface answer. That's just right off the top. And we can understand that. I get that, Now, what I want you to do is just grab your shovel and dig a little deeper, all right? What is it about your body that you don't like? And, you might even say, I don't like the way the fat hangs off my limbs. I don't like the way people are looking at me. They look at me funny. All right. So now I want you to pick up your shovel again and just dig a little deeper. All right. And if you were to lose all the weight that you wanted to lose, how would that make you feel? So your third surface answer might be, it make me feel great. But I want you to start to expound on that. Define great using your words and paragraphs, because great is remarkable in magnitude. It's huge, it's big, it's exciting, extraordinary. Now, if it's great, then Okay, awesome. What else will it do for you? What do you mean by great? How would it make you feel? Why do you feel that way in contrast to how you might be feeling right now? So these are questions to help you move forward and dig a little deeper. Take that shovel and dig a little deeper. Because even if you answer those questions, you're still going to come away with surface answers. But you dig a little deeper. And you might even say to yourself, if you dig a little deeper, right, you might even say, well, why? And why would it make you feel that way in contrast to the way you're feeling right now? Well, I would love to have a romantic relationship because why? People don't see you to be a romantic person because of your weight or how big you might look. Is that something that you feel? Did someone tell you that? What evidence do you have of that besides your own thoughts, besides your own thinking? I want you to dig deeper because you have to get out of your own thinking first to find out what is the real truth. Your answer is, well, because of my weight. Do you feel romantic about your weight? No? Then why not? That's something to explore as well. So, you want to dig a little deeper. You must answer all these questions. So why is that? Do you love yourself? Do you love yourself right now? And if you say no to that question, we're going to have to look past the weight now. Do you get what I'm saying? We're going to have to start looking past the weight because no matter what, you want to be able to love yourself inside out, not outside in. So is your love for yourself tied to your vanity? The way you look, the way your weight is, the way you carry yourself, or how people look at you? Now, I want you to start digging deeper. And that's what I mean by digging deeper. You have to start going down to the core reasons of who you are in order before you can even make the change. Because what happens is sometimes people don't answer all those questions on all those layers, and they only answer the top layer, and they're changing only on the surface. They're not really changing for what's really inside. What do you want to change? When do you want to make this change? Why do you need to make this change? What day do you need to make the change by? There are so many questions. And I believe that when we want to make a change, we first have to find out why we want to make those changes in our lives. So I pose that question to you. I want you to sit down and go back and write why you want to make that change. Why is it important to you? And then I don't want you to stop with those answers. Just want you to keep asking why. Ask it about 15 times until you can no longer answer it. And don't answer with one word. Answer with paragraphs. There are so many words that you can use in the dictionary. Let's go and start answering with paragraphs, with context, with meaning. That's how you're going to get your answers. You know, everybody say, how you feel? Oh, I feel fine. Okay. No, I want to know how you truly feel. What are you thinking? Because that's basically what I'm asking. What are you thinking? Because whatever you're thinking is also predicated on how you feel. And you've heard me say this many times on the podcast. So if you want to make a change in your life, ask yourself why. That is the biggest question there. Ask yourself why. And then there are many things that you need to do after you answer those questions. And if you say why, and you finally get down to the core reason of why you need to make that change, and you say, you know, I want to love myself, and I don't feel that I can love myself with not giving my all to myself. So now your weight no longer has an issue, right? That's just the byproduct of you knowing that you cannot you have not been given your all in your own life. And now we get to the core of the reason. So you know, in order to give your all in everything in your life, you have to start with the work on the inside. And then you slowly and gradually be able to change what's on the outside. And if you wanted to lose weight, you got to start with, I got to change my lifestyle. It's not a diet that's going to help you lose the weight. And if it is, it's only going to be temporary. So you need to change not only your habits, your thinking. You got to change the way you eat. You have to change your lifestyle. So your change is bigger than what you imagine when you say, I just want to lose weight, because it's not really all about the weight. How did you get that big? Were you always that big? Did it take a long period of time to get that big? Are you an emotional eater? These are questions that need to be answered. And then you have to find out how to deal with those answers and how to deal with the thinking of those answers, because all those things that you are going through, there is an accumulation of thoughts. It's going to be over time, and over time it's going to take for you to make your transformation, to make your change. And you can do a little at a time. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. So that's what I got for you today. Start asking yourselves the right questions in order to make your change. And I hope this is good food for thought for you. My name is Dave. Thank you so much for listening. And do me a favor, share this, subscribe. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me right now. I really appreciate you listening. And don't forget to stop by on Wednesday and listen to the conversation with Christina Stoutley, breaking free from toxic cycles. See you soon.